Welcome back to Melbourne. My name's Frosa, and I wanted to give you a short introduction into one of our presentations as an enrichment presenter on the cruise lines. This one is very special because it is part of my background, of course, being Greek. We all love to have our own big fat Greek wedding. Not so much these days, but weddings are getting smaller. But when I got married, certainly the weddings were a decent size. I had 350 people at my wedding. Everyone recognizes this photo from my big fat Greek wedding, and I have to tell you, it is all true. A bit extreme, they've exaggerated a little bit, but it hasn't been unusual to have a big wedding party like you've seen on that movie. So I'm going to talk you through some of the wedding rituals that we have as an introduction into Greek separate weddings. This is actually my wedding. One of the most important things to notice is the stephana, which is the crowns that we wear. The whole idea of the stephana is we're being joined as one, so we become one. By getting married. So it's a very special significance to actually have the crowns. The crowns itself are swapped over 3 times by the best man, and you'll see him doing this in the Greek church. We also walk around the actual centerpiece 3 times, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So that's the meaning of it. Now, it's not unusual for separate weddings to have a huge number of people. I had 350 in Cyprus. They can still have up to 2,000 people. Not everyone will be at the wedding itself or the reception, but they do have a ceremony where the guests will greet and congratulate the wedding couple. And like I said, they can have a couple thousand people. So it's everyone they know, not only family, but friends, business associates, extended family. And this is why the weddings get so big. Everyone in the village. If you're born in one town, everyone gets invited. And they can last up to 3 days. So they have a family wedding, they'll have a reception for the extended family, and they may even have one for, even further afield than that. There are rituals before the actual wedding ceremony itself, and we can go through some of those. One of the important things to remember with separate weddings is the father of the bride has to provide a house. It may be in my mother's times, it was just a single room, but my grandfather had to provide a house for his daughter, which was my mother. My poor grandfather, my father's side, had 9 daughters, which meant he had to build 9 houses. There's a whole range of different ceremonies that they go through, from the shaving of the groom by the best man. I'm going to show you. This is a lovely little church. I actually attended a wedding presided over by the president of Cyprus. And the reason we were invited is because my great uncle was actually a monk at the monastery where he trained. President Makarios actually trained. You can see some of the lollies here. The idea of the sugared almonds, and you can see the stephana sitting on top of them. The idea of the sugared almonds was all the single girls put them under their pillows on the wedding night to dream of the person they were going to marry. The red bow or sash around the bride's waist is for good luck, basically. So that's 2 of them. The next one is a shaving of the groom, and this is done by the best man in his side of the family. So the groom also has rituals, not just the bride. So I'm going to just skip over this because it's pretty noisy. Here you can see a better shot of the bride and groom with the stephana on their crown. So again, they're joined by white ribbon to become one during the ceremony. And you can see here that they're joined. So we call them stephana. I still have my mother's stephana, and my dad passed away, but mum is now 91. She would have got married when she was 19. So we still have the stephana in a beautifully decorated wooden box. So they keep them as a keepsake. This is the exchanging of the rings. And again, this is actually my wedding. So this is the best man changing the rings over 3 times. And you'll see them in the wedding ceremony, swapping them over. And again, this is something unusual, only happens in the Cypriot tradition. This is the pinning of the money. So when the bride and groom do their first dance, their first waltz together, the family will pin the money on them. You can see by the age, you can tell the age because the $20 notes, the Australian $20 notes are quite old ones. And this is something that they do to give the couple a good start with their married life, because you have to remember, in those days, you didn't live together. It's not like today where couples live together before they get married. They were totally separate until they actually got married, and this was to help them start their life together. So they're just some of the rituals. There's a lot more. This is just an intro. I hope you can join me on one of the cruise lines as a guest presenter and learn about the Greek wedding ceremonies. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions, and love talking to you. Bye.